to you by Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority.
Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi on Sign Language, Mughal Mohammed. Let's take a look at the top stories tonight. Government releases over 80 billion shillings to 3,237 SACCOs. Mubende Ebola Task Force and Security invade Chirwanyi village in Chiroma sub-county and hunt down 15 suspected Ebola victims, while government asked to find alternative punishments and abolish death penalty. While in sports, Chambogo rally against moves to enter UFL semis. Let's dig into it. Government has released over 80 billion shillings revolving fund for the first quarter of the financial year 2022-23 for the parish development model. With the funds already on the accounts of individual SACCOs, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja warns benefiting groups against diverting the funds.
Of the parish development model project, 8,334 SACCOs have been registered. These qualify to access funds in line with the economic transformation journey, so long as the SACCO meets the readiness criteria.
PDM SACCO must correspond to a parish on the list of gazetted parishes. B. PDM SACCO must be fully registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. C. PDM SACCO must have a bank account, because the money will go through a bank account definitely. D. PDM SACCO must have signed a parish revolving fund financing agreement with the local government.
On October 11th, 3,237 SACCOs from 55 local governments received the 25 million shillings each after government released 80.925 billion shillings.
Chiwede Kagan
Earlier, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja guided successful SACCOs on the priority enterprises for investment. She dismissed allegations that the PDM funds were handouts. She advised benefiting groups against diversion of funds.
I therefore call upon the Ministry of Local Government to ensure that the local governments which are responsible for community level activities under the PDM fully operationalize all parish development model services, and any poor performance by the local governments shall not be tolerated. I repeat, shall not be tolerated. I wish to invite the media, non-stake actors, and our development partners to join with government to positively inform our people and cause mindset change.
Priority enterprises are fish farming, dairy, piggery, poultry, fruits, food crops, and colonial coffee. According to plan, every PDM SACCO will be capitalized with 100 million shillings every financial year to integrate the 39% subsistence households into the money economy. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
And the Ebola task force and security in Mubende have invaded Chirwanyi village in Chiroma sub-county, which is said to have a number of Ebola probable deaths, holding 15 suspects said to have been in contact with the deceased. According to the RDC, Mubende, Rosemary Weyabashaija, they are still having families who do not believe that there is Ebola.
Mubende RDC Rosemary Biabasaja says they receive information of people dying from witchcraft, others dying in the way to the witch doctors, and they have a case where a man died from a witch doctor presenting Ebola signs and symptoms, and also infected the witch doctor, who is currently receiving treatment at Ebola Treatment Unit in Bende Regional Referral Hospital. Security has forcefully rounded up 15 people from a family that lost 7 people.
Most people are coming to hospital. Others offer themselves. Others are brought by their family members, much as we still have the rigid communities.
Biabasaija also noted that a person who reportedly died from Chirudu Hospital on Sunday was a probable case from the same family in Chiranyi village in Chiruma sub-county and Bende district, having traveled from his home after presenting some Ebola symptoms, making a stopover in Natete, where they also have a family house, and then proceeded to Luwero to a witch doctor.
A witch doctor welcomes a patient who has all the signs and symptoms, and he attempts to treat this person. First of all, his life is at stake, him as a witch doctor. But also the same thing, because this person has not been able to get the best treatment or the treatment he deserves, he ends up dying.
She says after failing to get healed, he returned to Natete where he felt bad and went to Chirudu Hospital where he died. However, the Minister of Health declared as the suspect was negative of Ebola.
Because some of them have died on the way, coming from the witch doctors, others have died while going there, others have died when they've left the witch doctor's place. But at the end of it all, even the witch doctor himself, you found him positive. For example, you have a positive case of a witch doctor who was attending to an Ebola victim.
Meanwhile, the RDC told us as they have so far closed one clinic from Chirunji village in West Division, Mubende municipality, for treating people suspected to have Ebola.
An arrangement to meet all the witch doctors and herbalists to sit down and educate them and tell them when you see somebody with those signs, then it means this person has to go to hospital.
Mubende Regional Referral Hospital is currently dealing with the accumulative number of 48 admissions, where 44 admissions are in the hospital, with 19 confirmed cases and 17 confirmed deaths. The task force has now called the meeting of taxi operators and religious leaders to agree on how they can prevent the disease. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has discharged 5 medical workers out of the 7 who contracted Ebola while on duty at Mubende Regional Referral Hospital. Minister for Health, Dr. Jenrotha Jeng, handed over certificates to the discharged as a sign of welcoming them back into their respective communities.
The 5 medical workers out of the 7 doctors who were admitted at Entebbe Isolation Center from Mubende Regional Referral Hospital have been discharged.
Good.
During the discharge ceremony at the isolation center, the Minister of Health commenced with a prayer for the recovery and to remember the 2 who died.
God continue to hold their hands and lead them in the direction that you would want them to go, and give them wisdom to continue doing this.
Today we see 5 of them being discharged. That is sending a message to other health workers that the profession they took to fight Ebola is worth it. As Ministry of Health, as professionals, that we have to make sure that all the necessary capacity of health workers is there for infection prevention and control, so that being infected in the line of profession does not become common.
The Permanent Secretary to the Minister of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, called on the public to change their mindset on Ebola. She encouraged the discharged medics to act as a mouthpiece for all health workers.
We want to call upon people who still think that Ebola is witchcraft, because that's also one of the components that is prolonging our response. Maybe by now would be seeing numbers going down, but some people who still have that to think that it is witchcraft, it is causing people to, to divert from the care they needed. Like
the Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, referred the experience they have gone through as occasional and lauded volunteers who offered their lives to look after their colleagues.
So we brought our health workers here. We moved them here because this place is nearer. Fort Portal is a little bit far. Mubende is even nearer than Fort Portal. We do counsel them. Even as they are working, we encourage them to counsel each other and to talk to each other. And continuous counseling must take place even when they are there.
Her family, they don't believe that she even died. They don't even believe that she ever had their own her body. So it would be good to reach out to them. And maybe even if the doctor also is not from Uganda, Dr. Mohammed, to reach out to him, his family.
So far, no Ebola case has been registered in Wakiso and Kampala. Currently, Ebola has been confirmed in 5 districts of Uganda, with cases standing at 54 patients with 16 deaths.
And may their souls rest in eternal peace.
Our government has been asked to find alternative punishments and abolish the death penalty in the country. This call was made by the ambassador of France to Uganda, His Excellency Jules Amanda in Ambasso, during the commemoration of the World Day Against Death Penalty.
Gabula Africa Evans, a longest-serving prisoner, survived execution in 1987, accused of illegal possession of controlled currency. Gabula was arrested and spent 28 years on death row.
Charged of illegal possession of controlled currency under military court, chaired by Mr. General Paul Kagame, who is now the president of Rwanda. And then they retried me in the High Court under the same charges. This time they upgraded the charge to treason. Now, they even fabricated some facts and they had me sentenced to death.
Gabula is now an activist and recalls the abolition of death penalty in Uganda.
It not only destroys you, it destroys your family, it destroys your children if you have any, it destroys the executioner. I've seen executioners running mad, hallucinating during their time, behaving like mad people.
The death penalty has been declined dramatically around the world since 1976, where more than 76 countries have abolished its application on all crimes, although Uganda retains the penalty.
Our office, the UN Human Rights Office, with our mandate to promote and protect all human rights, will join efforts to advocate for the universal abolition of the death penalty. Our position is based on the fundamental right to life and the unacceptable risk of executing innocent people.
Not simply a criminal justice policy instrument, but a violation of human rights. In 1991, it was not at all easy to abolish it, as the majority of the population was still in favor of the death penalty in France. We hope that Uganda will follow this path.
Human rights activists say there should be an alternative for death penalties, like serving for lifetime imprisonment on parole.
Initially, Uganda's definition of life imprisonment was 20 years, which gave hope to those sentenced to such a punishment to look forward to release, because the purpose of imprisonment is reform and rehabilitation. And we've seen individuals who have since been released from the death row and also from prisons, becoming useful citizens and contributing to their communities. So as much as we are thinking about what next after the death penalty, we believe that life without parole would not be the best option.
Uganda is among the 55 countries which retain the death penalty, with 121 prisoners on death row. The last execution was carried out in 2003. Mary Namkose, Joseph Muyingo, UBS News.
The decorated 4-star General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has commended the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yoweri Museveni, for elevating him to this rank. This was during a dinner organized for him by his friends in Kampala last night.
On a Monday 13th October 2022, the former Commander Land Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, handed over office to predecessor Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga at Bombo Army Barracks. In the change of guard, Muhoozi was promoted to the rank of the 4-star general, a moment which has been widely celebrated.
Lead us well, Father, to a good night.
This dinner, organized by his uncle Michael Kaguta under the team chairman arrangement, was to celebrate his dedicated service to Ugandans.
Our people of northern Uganda, Mwaso Acholi, is so peaceful. Business is booming. Is because of the contribution which this general here and his colleagues have done for our people.
Hosted at Sky's Hotel in Kampala, the event was graced by people from all walks of life, including the incoming Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga.
Okay, for his great contribution to the welfare of the UPDF. In the very short time he has been in that office, the achievements are tremendous. We are not going to talk about the achievements, we have already talked about them.
Muhanga, who has over the month been leading Operation Shuja, noted that UPDF will ensure peace in Uganda and beyond.
The NRA/UPDF has been able to defeat over 30 rebel groups. You can register them. I think Mwenda is you can register those rebel groups. Completely. And now we are exporting peace out of Uganda. We are in Somalia. We have been in South Sudan. We have been in the Central African Republic. We have been in Congo a number of times. We are even in Congo now.
The chief guest, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, was flanked by his fiancée.
Once again, thanking my dear wife. Please, Charlotte, stand up. Today we have really tortured these women. We have kept them up since 6 a.m. Me and General Muhanga, the whole day. They have not relaxed. They have been moving with us in our programs.
General Charles Otema hailed General Muhoozi and the team for brokering a safe environment for NRM supporters who in the past have felt prey to the opposition.
I was pissed off and disturbed when I was with General Saleh in the north. I'm told when people are moving Kampala, you're not supposed to put on yellow t-shirt. Shit, what? But now, when you started coming up, you have suppressed those people are being disturbing our supporters.
There's been some kind of confusion that these groups are anti-government or they're trying to challenge the government in some way. Never. How? How? Me, I call them self-defense groups.
But the speakers also turned against evil social media users, especially against the government and regime.
You cannot say Uganda should be a colony again, and that's your ideology. You've seen them. We have been talking about social media. Somebody comes and says, the colonizers were better than you. How can you say that and you call yourself a Ugandan?
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba also clarified on why on several occasions he has referred to UPDF as my army.
I'm somebody who's very passionate. I was very passionate about the army. You all saw me. I used to call them my soldiers. People would say, why are you calling them your soldiers? They're not. No, it's because I love them. I love them.
General Muhoozi extends a vote of thanks to the chief in command of the Armed Forces of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
I will end also by once again thanking the President and Commander-in-Chief for promoting myself and Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga.
A 4-star general is the highest rank in Uganda's army, and this now automatically ushers in General Muhoozi to the top military table of the High Command. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now, Chief Justice Alfonso Dolo has launched the Civil Redress Scheme, spearheaded by the International Center for Arbitration and Mediation, to offer a platform for alternative dispute resolution mechanisms to Ugandans. While launching the scheme, the Chief Justice was optimistic that it will help in addressing case backlog.
Through alternative dispute resolution of cases, this is where one settles his or her case without using court means between the parties. In most cases, this is done through mediation and conciliation conducted by an individual to the parties.
For instance, you killed somebody, therefore you must also be killed. There's a reconciliation, and there's a way in which people forgive each other, and that ends the dispute there and then. But with this particular matter, we have got a particular case that has been referred here, so that's what we're going to start with.
The International Center for Arbitration and Mediation has launched a civil redress scheme to promote dispute resolution. Chief Justice Alfonso Dolo launched the scheme. He was sure that this will address the challenge of case backlog.
While you may be aware that the Arbitration Act of Uganda makes provision for conciliation, I can confidently say that this form of dispute resolution has not been exploited so much to afford our people justice. And I believe this drive will play a significant role in further decongesting courts of case backlog. I implore ICAMEC to popularize and train stakeholders whenever possible to appreciate the role of conciliation in quick dispute resolution.
Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, revealed intentions to come up with a speed-up trial bill, which will hope to speed up trial of cases.
Just like election cases are resolved within 6 months, there are some cases that need to be resolved as quickly as possible because they can slow down the economy, they can lead to people losing jobs, they can even bring down a bank.
International Center for the Arbitration and Mediation is spearheading the arbitration.
In fulfillment of ICAMEC's mandate as an appointing authority under the instrument, and invites the public to embrace this form of dispute resolution, that it has made an indicative of ICAMEC's working towards 2020-2023 strategic goals, which include building a robust institutional capacity in pursuance of its mission, promotion and enhancement of utilization of aid services in Africa, building a credible private sector-led best-in-class ADR center, and building a sustainable center.
Since its inception in 2019, the International Center for Arbitration and Mediation has registered 56 arbitration cases, publishing 48 awards and 8 settlements. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
And as Uganda celebrates the International Day of the Girl Child, Little Miss Uganda Queens expressed the need to strengthen the fight of the rights of the girl child. The Little Queens reveal some of the projects that they will use to help their fellow girls. They, however, stress that despite the campaign to support the girl child, the boy child should not be left neglected, as they call for equality.
I've written a world-changing book that is to help children and let them know that there is nothing that is too hard for them.
Like has hope for children, and it helps children. It helps the less privileged children. For example, it helps them with drinks, eats, and many more.
To help some children learn how to make bracelets, jewelry and earrings, which is going to help them in future. Not that everyone is going to work in an office, no.
I'm doing a fundraising campaign to fund my project, to buy materials for making high-quality reusable sanitary pads. Each girl can at least have 3 pads. So
I call upon the government and the private sector to join hands with me and let's help those least privileged girls in Uganda.
I want us to mainly focus on both the genders, African child, not the girl child only.
All we need is to support the girls that are leading these projects. Support their projects, fund them where possible, because the government can probably find a way to support them. Because they have been running on TVs, they are practical. Some of them are painters, some of them are jurists, some of them are radio personalities. Can we find a way of supporting them run their cause?
Oh, well. Now, social enterprises Einstein Rising and partners have launched a campaign to provide opportunities for collaboration towards building a sustainable social impact. The campaign is a platform for budding entrepreneurs to network, learn and also grow from and with each other.
After a successful edition of the 2021 Kampala Impact Day, Einstein Rising and partners have launched the second edition of the campaign to help provide opportunities for collaboration for budding entrepreneurs.
It's the second edition, as we heard, of the Kampala Impact Day that will take place on 30 November. I'm convinced that a strong private sector is instrumental to create jobs and prosperity. And it's very positive that both Ugandan and Belgian entrepreneurs will once again have the opportunity to learn from each other to make their businesses thrive. But it's even more positive that this event will focus on social entrepreneurship.
We seek to forge a way forward in a room full of investors from overseas, African angel investors, business support organizations, and representatives of startups that have already navigated the rough waters of entrepreneurship. We are proud that Kampala Impact Day is one of the occasions that will contribute to this by bringing a diverse collection of actors in one location to discuss, co-create, showcase, share experiences, and learn more about sustainable impact.
The previous edition attracted 150 entrepreneurs who have since progressed to greater heights.
So we have also won other awards just because of what we won in OVO. Recently, we got an award from Oxfam.
Participants in the Kampala Impact Day campaign get seamless business opportunities, training, coaching, benchmarking platforms, and expanded networks, among other benefits. This year's edition will take place on the 30th of November 2022 at Silver Springs in Bugolobi.
And the number of gender-based violence cases have increased at Kasese Magistrates Court, leading to case backlog. This was reported during the court open day launch presided over by the resident judge Fort Portal, Amy Vincent Mugabo, at Kasese Chief Magistrates Court in Kasese Municipality.
Gender-based violence are on increase in Rwenzori East region due to family matters and land grabbing.
Generally getting high in other areas, so SGBV has not been spared. The area of SGBV has also had an increase.
Judiciary still have a challenge with the prosecutors, which also leads to case backlog.
There has been a problem of staffing the DPP, and the staffing is because of the fund levels that the DPP receives and is able to request for recruitment.
Amona Atwine, the district prison commander for Kasese district, who represented the regional prison commander, attributes how there is only one way of reducing the overwhelming numbers if cases are handled at grassroots level.
So we appeal, my lord, that if all these cases can be handled, even the small ones, we think the congestion in the prison can be as well be dealt with, and those who have capital cases, time, just a matter of time, they will also get their freedom.
However, the community is not satisfied on how judiciary is handling their cases.
And always they say the police takes away the exhibit. But now, funny enough, the exhibit gets lost from the court. Is that fair?
It should be noted that 70% cases in the criminal justice are related to gender-based violence arising from land issues.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details, News Tonight.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165*77# or use the Momo app to register.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for the next 11 months. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Did you know that a cashless, secure, and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185*9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless. Stay connected on the largest 4G network in Uganda using the Airtel 4G Pocket MiFi at only 75,000 Uganda shillings. It comes with 15 GBs free, valid for a month. You can connect up to 10 of your friends and family at a go. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get one today or call 0800 333 330 for free delivery within Kampala. Dial *175 *9# to activate free 15 GBs. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. Now in business news, the local government leaders benefiting from Tochi and Wedili irrigation schemes are determined to deal with anyone who tries or intends to disrupt farm income enhancement and forestry project being implemented under the Ministry of Water and Environment. The project currently benefits over 10,000 households.
Robert Omito, chairperson of Pakwach district, has warned against demobilizing communities on government projects.
They tried to interfere with the Wadila irrigation, but we tried to engage. They could not understand because their mission is just to sabotage the irrigation and frustrate. We had to gain a few people who were at the forefront, and they had to back off.
The Farm Enhancement and Forestry Conservation Project has built the capacity of the local farmers in climate resilience through sustainability of natural resources management and agriculture enterprise. The project.
We are growing vegetables. Our first time we grew watermelon and it came out very well. I in particular, I used that money for paying the school fees.
The project has enabled rice farmers in Oyam district to supply rice to neighboring towns and cities.
Our farmers are able to produce rice throughout the seasons. Mr. Permanent Secretary, if you could recall, this year was affected with serious famine. There was no rice anywhere. I could remember the majority of the women from Kulu going to Tochi irrigation scheme to get their rice from there.
Meanwhile, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Water and Environment, Alfred Okot, encouraged farmers to embrace this project to address food insecurity.
The people who do warehousing, the people who do transportation, the people who sell, each one of you can adulterate the quality of the product, hence lower the value that you can get. We therefore need to have everybody focus on quality processes.
More than 10,000 households have benefited from the $108.3 million farm income enhancement and forestry conservation programs. The 5-year project, launched in 2016, is funded by the African Development Bank, Nordic Development Fund, and the Government of Uganda.
The Ministry of Tourism and Uganda Tourism Board, Africa Tourism and Environment Organization have launched the 5th edition of Ekula Quality Assurance Tourism. State Minister for Tourism Martin Mugarura told UBC that the launch targets at promoting Uganda as an East African #1 tourist destination, inform and engage the population to be in charge of sustainable tourism and protect ecodiversity. Now, with the theme Rethinking Tourism and Promotion of Green Initiatives, areas of emphasis include accessing tourism to people with disabilities, financial literacy, creation of green jobs, and digital marketing.
The Honorable Minister of Tourism to come and give us a word or two. Honorable Martin Mugarura. Pleasure.
Tourism remains one of the leading income-earning sectors in Uganda, and as a result, there is need to invest more in the sector. Ugandans are urged to embrace the rich available tourism facilities that the country has to offer.
That the only way we can have this sector sustainable is
when we grow the domestic tourism component. In a scenario where there are cancellations and there is a reduction in the number of tourists that are coming into the country, then there will be a problem. And that's why I keep saying that in such scenarios, Ugandans should be able to come in and fill the gap and travel domestically. And the numbers have been good. I've been saying this time and again. The number of people visiting our tourist destinations in this country are the same as those of the foreigners.
The Kula Awards is one event that is directed towards enhancing tourism in Uganda as it seeks to promote quality assurance.
And all this is going to be in line with this year's theme, Rethinking Tourism and Promotion of the Green Initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to keep track, we're establishing a database of all participants and forming a call center that handles calls, WhatsApps, monthly data analytics, database management, sales, calls, and digital marketing.
As a young person living with disability, you realize that we have very many opportunities out there, and accessible tourism is one of them. Having engagement with the Kula Tourism Awards has really opened my eyes to there's so much potential that is out there. How are we able to reach out to these people with or living with disabilities who are so passionate about tourism, who are so passionate about nature? And for your information, I'm also an environmentalist, and what better way to protect the environment than to teach people about the environment.
Foreigners and Ugandans benefit as equitably as possible from this sector. I've had an experience with the Kula Tourism Awards in 2022, before and during our Miss Tourism Rwenzori bootcamp. Aspects of girl-child empowerment, aspects of patriotism and the importance of branding were a key element of this entire branding and camp moment.
Tourism in Uganda provides opportunities for all categories of people. This year's awards will be used as a platform to address issues such as girl-child empowerment, providing an inclusive avenue to accommodate persons with special abilities. Marion Awori and Joyce Akelo, UBC News.
And Airtel Uganda has unveiled the first set of winners in the ongoing UG Needs More of You campaign, as well as unveiling the new set of 3 companies for the next season, including Barefoot Law, which offers legal aid online, One Impact app that encourages TB patients to get online help without stigma, and Agro Supply, an online platform that supports farmers with access to agricultural inputs. Well, BB Pads emerged winner from the 3 vetted stories. The social entrepreneur that makes reusable sanitary pads and relies heavily on social media to reach beneficiaries garnered 90,394 votes from the participating public. And Civico, and Cibuco received 85,619 votes, while Jaguza Tech attained 46,340 votes. Now, the 3 businesses will each receive a cash reward, with the winners taking home 15 million shillings, 10 million for the second runner-up, and 5 million for the third runner-up.
Get the grand award, which is a 15 million Ugandan shillings, and this we pray that this continues making a mark in the lives of the women they touch. Esubuko, in their financial inclusion and working with savings and credit, came second position and they get 10 million shillings. And Jaguza in their endeavor to ensure that the livestock farmers in the marginal areas continue getting the best in terms of how they are able to take care of their livestock, came 3 with 5,000. They'll get 5 million Ugandan shillings for them to be able to continue doing the good job they're doing.
We did this because we had a lot of trust in our fellow countrymen. We knew, Ugandans can actually make a big difference. And we knew that technology in today's world is a big enabler which is allowing people ordinary people to do extraordinary stuff. I think the response that we have got, where we got over 1,000 different stories, the quality of the stories that we've got have actually been significantly better than what we even anticipated. And when we read some of them, we're very humbled by the kind of good work that we see people doing around us.
The stories showed passion in what people were doing and really took care of the needs in the community. Basic things that we take for granted, through which people found ways using our technology, either Airtel Money or the app or the digital through WhatsApp, to solve the general problems of the community and of the women. So for the other panelists here, I must tell you that Ugandans are really out there doing a great job, and for us to come up with the stories that will air was not very easy, but I'm sure you'll agree with us with the final verdicts that came out.
For us to be able to assist those where we can, work with relevant government departments to ensure that we make the ease of people doing business even softer for Ugandans to be able to do the work they do.
It was quite difficult for us as judges to be able to pick out that one unique value the winner would have against the others.
I just want to give thanks to God, first of all, for allowing us serve this great nation, and to thank so much the Karamojong fraternity. When we were nominated for the Uganda Needs More of You, I told them, you know, I need you to support me because we are a minority few. And most of them were like, don't worry, Karamoja will develop.
Africa is all about community. Community financing is just the way to go. Community also means partnerships with people like Airtel.
Jaguza started as a part of my story where I lost my father and my dad, and I couldn't go back to school. So I used to rear rabbits to go back to school. So I lost all my rabbits in one night. And that was the beginning of Jaguza, to detect diseases in the next 48 hours before the disease manifests, the cattle theft, and so on.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800 100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77 hash or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Now in sports, Chambogo University has recovered a 2-1 quarter final first leg loss to Edge Makera University Business School and sealed a semi-final slot in the 2022 University Football League. This game between teams that have won the league combined 3 times meant to be interesting and didn't disappoint right from the first leg. Playing at home then, Chambogo gave away 2 late goals to lose 2-1. Matters in the second leg at Nakawa weren't helped for them when a 7th-minute strike by Sharif Sengendo gave Moobs a 3-1 aggregate lead. But a 28th-minute equalizer on the day by Joel Nkwanga gave Chambogo hope that was made realistic when Joram Lakaba grabbed a 92nd minute winner on the day to level the tie to a 3-all and thus penalties. Chambogo that came into this game winless against Moobs in 8 games, then kept their nerves and emerged 4-1 winners in the penalty kicks to seal a semi-final slot. The Banda Best side now joins St. Lawrence, Uganda Matters and Uganda Christian University in the Final 4 of the Pepsi University Football League that is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And now let's take a look at the top stories tonight. And releases over 80 billion to 3,237 SACCOs. Mubende Ebola Task Force and Security invade Chirwanyi village in Shiroma sub-county and hand down 15 suspected Ebola victims. While government asks to find alternative punishments and abolish the death penalty. While in sports, Chambogo rally against moves to enter UFL semis. Well, that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. Mohammed Mugalu on sign language. I am Rod Ngonzi. We now leave you with the weather update.
A very good evening to you once again. You are welcome to today's weather broadcast brought to you by Uganda National Meteorological Authority in conjunction with UBC. I'm Majezi Africano, your today's presenter. There have been a reduction in wet activities in our country, and when we take a look at the satellite picture that has been captured over our country, it shows that the rainy belt is over our country, scattered on many areas. But from the Congo Basin, we are getting wet, moist activities that are experienced in the western sector that are causing the rains that are experienced in those places. Tomorrow around the Lake Basin, we expect Masaka together with Kampala to experience light rains, but Mubende together with Takasongola is expected to have a mixture of clouds and sunny activities. Jinja area is expected to have thundery rains. Tororo and Soroti are expected to have cloudy conditions. Even the western sector, we expect Kasese, Masindi, Mbarara together with Kabari to have a mixture of cloudy and sunny conditions. In the northern sector, we expect Arua, Gulu, Kitgum together with Moroto to have a mixture of clouds and sunny conditions, but they are expected to have light rains. In the afternoon tomorrow, we expect the central sector to have thundery rains in Mubende, Kampala and Nakasongola is expected to have light rains, but Masaka is expected to have cloudy conditions. Jinja area together with eastern region expected Tororo together with Soroti to have a mixture of clouds and sunny conditions, but Jinja is expected to have light rains. In the western sector, we expect a pickup of rain and thundery rains in Kasese together with Mubende. However, Mbarara and Kabale is expected to have light rains. The northern sector is expected to have light rains in Lera together with Arua, but Ketgum, Gulu, Kotido, and Moroto are expected to have a mixture of clouds and sunny conditions. Elsewhere across the globe, we expect Cairo to have a mixture of clouds and sunny conditions. Dubai is expected to have sunny conditions with temperatures as high as 35 degrees. Nairobi is expected to have light rains, and London is expected to have a mixture of clouds and sunny conditions. Thanks for joining with us. Stay tuned.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the document to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just set it for register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have